It has been quite an insightful session so far. And, good morning to everybody and to the students. Uh, Coming from a Jaipuria school background in Kanpur, I can relate to this session quite closely, I would say, dear to the heart. Um, uh, this session is, of course, something that led to sort of a introspection for the use of technology in my company, which is a engineering based uh, pump manufacturing that we are involved with. So reimagining business and reskilling workforce for the emerging digital ecosystem is a very relevant and a very interesting topic for a company like Roto Pumps, which is a medium scale company listed on the Bombay Stock Exchange, however, has operations across the globe, 4 to 5 locations. So this has been quite a insightful task for me. What I want to today share is the manufacturing perspective of the digital ecosystem and how that is being used in a company which is of this size in the and its effect and some of the challenges that we are facing. I recently read in the news that Hyundai Motor Corporation is trying to collaborate with Apple for future mobility. So what it only sort of reemphasizes the need for companies to go beyond their domain knowledge and expertise, which is challenging the very existence of businesses. So this is a very important topic, and pandemic also has been one of the the use of technology during this time has also enabled to continue with our daily business. So I now will move over to a presentation and use of some of these technologies in the manufacturing sector. Anurag, can you please just switch it on? So I'll just move on to a slide-based presentation, and this will give I believe this will give a very good understanding to the audience how these some of these technologies are being used currently in a company like Roto Pumps. Please go ahead. So it's a digitalization of modern manufacturing. It's called Industry 4.0 or Industrial Internet of Things or just smart manufacturing. And what it means is, it is the application of information and communication technology to all the aspects of manufacturing, and it is reshaping as well the modern manufacturing. What it has done is has changed the way we design, we fabricate, use, operate, and even service. On one side, the products. On the other side, it has transformed the processes, the operations, the energy footprint of the factories, as well as management of manufacturing supply chains. So some of the main technologies which are part of the industry 4.0, some of them I have tried to list them, which is high HPC, as we called it, which is powering the computer aided design and engineering. Cloud computing is there, Internet of Things is there. There is advanced sensor technologies, 3D printing, industrial robotics, data analytics, machine learning, and the wireless connectivity that enables machine to machine communication. Go ahead, please. Uh, in this ecosystem, how these technologies interact and are interlinked is is what we see on this slide. I hope it's visible to everybody. Shishir?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead, please. So I'm going to touch upon certain aspects of the business where some of these technologies are being used, and definitely Roto's R&D center is at the forefront of it. So what we are using is all these softwares such as SolidWorks or ANSYS, which is for analysis of the strength of materials to the flow of liquids and fluids. So these sophisticated software require this high performance computing, which is what we have been using for quite some time. And the stage of these technologies, as I understand, is quite matured, and the usage at Roto is at least of a medium level, can definitely be improved, and that's what the aim would be. But this is how, please go ahead. And what we are able to do, what you see is actual example for application. It's going to be on a warship, and what we need to analyze is the shock analysis for the product and how it will be able to sustain this. This is what is visible. Please go ahead. Uh, Please go ahead. This is another example of seismic analysis. I think these are very relevant examples in the sense it gives an idea how these software computing systems are helping the industries to with this, which is a very high monetary cost to procure and operate both hardware and software, and requirement of highly skilled manpower. Go ahead, please. Uh, Another important aspect, Roto is a company which is operating from 6 different locations other than India, and the connectivity and the platform is of predominant importance. And what we are doing is using a cloud computing technology based ERP, which we are migrating to, which is SAP. And what it will do is, please go ahead, is integrate and will provide real-time seamless connectivity, process efficiency, and inventory management. The status of this kind of technology again is matured, and the usage as we are migrating, we can say, is of a medium level. Right? Engineering company into manufacturing, sensor technology, machine to machine communication, automation is of prerequisite importance, and we use some of these technologies in the hardcore manufacturing activity. Go ahead, Anurag. And it does involve use of again softwares also for the various machines that we have, also to be able to relate to what is actually produced as against what has been designed. And that verification is very important, is used also using some of these sophisticated machines and software. What you see is also another example of what we would like to call as the product and the services that you're delivering. Is it really performing to what the customer has given you this order, or is buying this product? And that is to ensure that the pumps that leave the factory are conforming to those parameters. And we use an advanced SCADA based testing facility. And SCADA is, of course, advanced software which is able to capture all the parameters, as well as is from a remote location as well. Please go ahead. So we have been using this, and it uses, other than the software, some advanced sensors and cameras to measure the real-time performance. And it is also allowing witness of pump performance by customers from remote locations, which was very important during pandemic. Travel restrictions were there. This technology was put to tremendous use. And the maturity level of this technology is there, and we are also um, using at a medium level. Auto industry is the forefront, is the front runner for most of these technologies. We do have certain challenges. We are a smaller batch production company. We have a very large variety, which does restrict the adoption of some of these technologies, such as robotics. And of course, the high investment cost to procure these tools and softwares, and also does involve a complex interface between multiple stakeholders. Another use of technology, artificial intelligence and data analytics is in a product, solar pumping systems. This is as is also conventional, non-conventional form of energy being used for a very important aspect. So what it requires is to monitor the pump performance in terms of water extracted for irrigation or drinking water purposes, which has to be guaranteed under the Prime Minister Kusum Yojana or the MNRE guidelines. And how do you do that? It is incorporating remote monitoring systems for real-time pump performance data, as well as also using artificial intelligence during off-peak, which I mean before the sun is at its higher intensity or full intensity. The pump cannot start during that time, but power is being produced, or on certain days when sun is not, or irrigation is not required, the pump is not running, but power is being produced, and then we are smartly transmitting the power to the grid. So this is another example of finding usage in a system, which is solar pumping system. This is currently under development. Challenges are, of course, all these systems are being installed in remote and distant locations, and with the complete paraphernalia that is involved to put such a system in place requires high working capital, and obviously from such government-backed projects. Cybersecurity is an aspect of uh, great importance. A company in the medium scale or the small scale are most susceptible to ever increasing, evolving, more sophisticated cyber threats. Uh, this is a harsh reality, but as companies, graduate to a digital platform, start using more of technology, this is going to be one of the biggest threats. And of course, for SMEs who are easier targets, because of the limited resources they are able to deploy for this aspect. Having said that, of course, technologies are maturing, so the cost is also coming down. So we have a fairly reasonable level of security in place, and with SAP, of course, does help a higher level to come in future. Please go ahead. I have shared most of the things that were applicable. There are so many other technologies which are still there, which we are going to be using in future. To conclude, I would only like to say that the companies would be increasing the adoption of technologies for their own benefit. But what is important is that the use of this technology should not compromise on the service levels while delivering these products and services, and it should also not be uh, without the human touch, more of that is getting lost when technologies are getting into place. And man and machine have to coexist, and they have to work together for the upliftment of society as a whole. And reskilling this, the human resource, is a challenge which I expect to be covered adequately and to be dwelled upon in the next panel session. So thank you very much, gentlemen. I hope this session on manufacturing sort of focus was helpful for understanding. Thank you very much.